Welcome to PodApplaud, the Monday through Friday podcast that aims to enable your podcast habit. I'm your host, Seb, and today we are going to talk about the podcast, The English We Speak. The English We Speak is a bite-sized podcast put out by the BBC that teaches one English idiom or turn of phrase each episode. Episodes are less than 3 minutes long, and there is currently over 300 episodes already, with yet another new one uploaded each week. I found the English We Speak podcast while looking around podcasts from non-English speaking regions, trying to find some off-the-beaten-path shows to talk about. Turns out it is hard for me to talk about a podcast that's in a language I don't understand. So, I figured I'd check out this one. Since these episodes are less than 3 minutes long, I expect me talking about them will also be quite short. Basically, some BBC jingle in pre-jargon will play. Then, our host will have some back and forth banter. After the brief banter, the host will describe the phrase they are teaching about, then use it casually in some dry British humor sentences. The hosts are always making silly little digs at each other that I found start off quite funny, but got a bit tiring the more episodes I listened to. Maybe normal people are not listening to multiple episodes of this show in a row, like I was when I was trying to get a feel for it. So I might be making that a bigger issue than it really is. I went back and forth on thinking about the real-world usefulness of this show. At first, I thought it was great because the episodes are all titled with the phrase they were educating. So, if you needed to know a phrase, you could search by episode title and figure it out pretty quickly. Then I thought if you needed to figure out a specific phrase quickly, it would be easier to just Google them. So the show might be more valuable if it had longer episodes that covered more phrases. Then I thought you could just listen to episodes ahead of time, so you learn the phrases before it comes up unexpectedly in conversation. I think I've settled on it probably being easiest to remember 1 or 2 phrases a day using these short episodes. So, yeah, a valuable self-learning tool all in all. If I was to learn a new language, I think I would want to utilize something like this show. Here on PodApplaud, I usually rate shows on a 1 to 5 scale. Today I'm not going to bother. I can't accurately say exactly how useful this show is from my perspective, but it does seem like a good tool. I will say, if you know someone who might benefit from learning more English idioms in turns of phrase, then consider sharing the English We Speak podcast with them. Lastly, I would like to point out again, this is a BBC production, so many of the phrases are particular to British English. So if you're from North America, it could be a way to learn more across the pond slang. Or, if you're refining your English in North America, you might find yourself using a term, as the podcast suggested, only for it to confuse your friends. That's been the show for today. I hope you found it valuable. If you wish to reach out to me, you can find me on Twitter at PodApplaud, or send an email to podapplaud@gmail.com. Thank you for listening, and please tune in again.